Welcome, everybody. I'm hoping I'm live now on Facebook. Just about to, yes, there I am. Wonderful. I'm going to keep myself muted. Thank you, Rika, for joining us. Rika's my gorgeous PA who's going to pin a couple of links for you guys to follow as we do this. This is going to be a fun session. This is something I came across, and it's just one of those things that blew my mind when I saw it. It was absolutely, yeah, it just kind of blew my mind. So I had to learn how to do it because it's a time saver, a massive, massive time saver. And who can say no to a time saver? So while we're live, please feel free to throw your questions and your comments in the chat. I've got you open on this screen over here so I can actually sort of say hi and whatnot to you. Let me know. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Amanda Sutherland, and that's the name of my business, Amanda Sutherland. And who I am is I am an entertainer. I'm also a bit of an entrepreneur and just a general all-round creator. And I love helping people discover their creativity and discovering how they can save time by using tools such as Canva. And in this particular instance, I'm going to, hey, Reg, how are you, gorgeous? I'm going to show you one of my favorite tips for creating bulk posts. So this is particularly useful if you're doing things like creating quotes. If you like to share a different quote every day, you can actually use this tip to create 100 posts like that. And I'm just going to let that sink in for a moment because once you set it all up, it's actually that quick. You spend more time setting it up, but once you hit the generate button, it literally is that quick. I can't believe how quick it is, and I'm pretty sure some of you won't either. Okay, so should we get started with an example? I'm going to work you through an example of the process I work through. Now, there's a couple of steps involved. So first things first, you need a list. And if you don't have a list of, say, quotes or tips or whatever you want to use, you can use tools like ChatGPT to create those lists. And that's what we're going to do this afternoon. We're going to create a list with ChatGPT. We are then going to export that to a spreadsheet because this trick in Canva is done two ways, and one of the ways is to use a spreadsheet. And then we're also going to use that spreadsheet and data in that spreadsheet to create two types of posts. One that adds a different photo to each post, and one that just adds the data. So this is going to be hopefully a very informative session for everybody who's joining. If you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat there for me, and I will get started now. So let me share my screen. There's my share screen right there. Share screen. So I've got Canva open, but that's probably the last part with the initial step. So what I need first, that's my gorgeous cat, sorry. What we're going to do is we are going to open up ChatGPT, which I have here. And when you're using AI, one of the things you've got to do is actually tell it who and what you want to talk about. So what we're going to do first is I've actually generated my ideal client profile, what their needs are, how I would like to engage with them. So what I'm going to do, and any business coach can help you. This Lucia is particularly good at helping you work this stuff out. So shout out to Lucia. Hey, GB, how are you? Thank you for joining us live today. So people like Lucia, business coaches, all of that can help you work this out. So I'm not going to go into that for you. But basically, once you've got your ideal client profile, you just take it and you copy it. And then what you do is you pop it into ChatGPT, and what this does, it tells the chat who you are and how you want to talk to clients and who they are. It educates the chat so it actually understands what you want to talk about. So that's your first step, teaching your AI bot, whatever one you use, that, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, and these are the people I want to talk to. So once you've got that in there, your next question is actually to say, go down to your chat at the bottom and ask the following question, which I have flipped over. It's basically you say, with my ideal client in mind. So we're going to create this live so you can actually see the whole process. So with my ideal client in mind, please create a list of topics they would be interested in. So you bring that in, and what it's going to do, now that it knows who your clients are, it can give you a list of topics that your client will be interested in. So what we've got here is we've got strategic business growth, marketing tips, productivity enhancement, personal and professional development, networking and collaboration. So the next step to creating the bulk load of information is we've picked one of these topics. So with these topics in mind, I'm going to go with my ideal client in mind. So you want to remind it who you're talking to. Ideal client in mind, please create a list of, and this is where you can put in your number, and I'm going to stick with 50 because that's a good round number, 50 tips that speak to them on the topic of, let's go with effective marketing techniques, but I do a lot of marketing. Effective marketing techniques. So as you can see, here we go. It is now creating the content I'm going to put into Canva for me. So the next step will be to, while we're waiting for that to finish, will be to open up a spreadsheet. I use Excel, but you can also use Google Sheets. So long as it's a spreadsheet, you can do this next step. So where did my spreadsheet open up? Sometimes it's the downside of having multiple screens, but I couldn't work without my multiple screens. Okay, so here we've got a brand new sheet, which we're going to use in a second. So as you can see, it doesn't take long for something like these AI things to actually create the tip lists. So you copy your list, minimize that, and now we're going to bring in the spreadsheet. Now, if you've got any questions, please pop them in there for me so I can answer them. This can be a little overwhelming at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's impressive. So now we've got our list here. I am going to you want to get rid of any information you don't want to use. So that includes getting rid of spaces in between your data. Now, sometimes what I'll do is I'll go through and get rid of all the numbers, but we haven't got enough time to do that today because I haven't found a quick way to do that efficiently yet. But once I do, I'll tell you about it. So we've got these list of the information here. So now the next step is to actually file and save it as, let me find somewhere to save that. Where are we going? Okay, so we're going to save this one as marketing tips. So, but the trick here is for this to work when you bring it into Canva, it needs to be saved as a file type called a CSV. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of what that is, but basically it's allowed you to export data from one program and import it to another one. Okay, so we've got that saved. Oh, you guys, is it just Lucia who can't hear me, or can everyone else hear me? Hello, is everyone able to hear me? I hope everyone can hear me. Fingers crossed. Share audio. Let's try that again. I'll just let me try that again. If someone else could just comment, just popping in a comment. Can anyone else? Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. The technology, right? Okay, no, I don't want that. I want that one over there. Share. Okay, okay, wonderful. You've got me loud and clear. Gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. So hopefully you can hear me now. If you couldn't before, the chair, fingers crossed. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so Let me go back over here. I think that's where I want to be. Yep, this is where I want to be. So basically, I've got my list here, so I don't need that for the moment. So I'm going to minimize that for the moment. And then the next step is to go back into Canva. Now, there are two ways you can do this, and you can do it on multiple things. But for today, we're just going to create an Instagram style post. So you bring up your blank post. Give it a moment. Sometimes you've got to love the way it goes slow, haven't you? Love Canva, but sometimes it is a bit slow, a bit too slow for me. Okay, so what you're going to do is you can do a design, or you can use a template. So I'm just going to say do a tip template, business tips. Just choose one of the templates. Let's go. We're going to go something like this one here. Now, this is not my branding. So what I do now is I come in and I change the elements to be my branding when they pop up. And as you can see, it's quite simple to edit all of this stuff. So we go through here, handwriting. No, I want that there. I don't really want this one here. I don't need that picture. But this background, I'm going to make, say, one of my brand colors that's already set up in my kit. And then I'll go over to the elements over here. Let's generate a frame, find a frame where the frame's hiding down here. So we just pop one in here very quick and simply, because we actually can, what we're going to do is we're going to add photos to this, a different photo to each of these tips using this method. So bring that down here, because as Lucia always says, you've got to have your picture on there. So you've got to have your face on there. So I'm going to pop that in there for the purpose of the exercise. And then the other thing you can do, if your brand kit is set up, you can just duck over to the brand kit and grab your logo, because you always want to have your logo in the top corner there somewhere as well. So pop that up the top there. And then just basically you get your template set up how you want it to read. We won't be using that for this instance, so we'll be using that. So this is how it's set up. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to come down on the left-hand side here to something called apps. And then from apps, we want to come down to more from Canva and choose bulk create. Now this is where the magic is going to happen. So for this particular one, because we want to use a different picture on every post, we're going to go enter data manually, and you have these two columns. For this particular project, we only need the one column, so we can delete that column. And always name your columns so you know what you're looking at. And we're going to call this tips. And then I'm going to delete this data. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the spreadsheet back up. And we are going to copy those 50 tips we brought in earlier. And we are just going to paste them in here. So you can see how quick and simple it is to add the information. This bit's are not quite so fast, because you're going to do it manually for each line. But the brilliance of the way this is set up is if you've uploaded things into your project folders, you can come through and choose the photos you want straight from Canva. So given that we want some random ones, we're just going to randomly pick them. But you can go back and choose the ones you actually want. But given our timeframes here, we're just going to randomly pick today. So it's quite simple. You just click on the button, choose your folder, come through and choose an image. And now that we've got some variations, I'm just going to rotate between the first couple on the first top of the list, just so we can get through this pretty quickly. And as you can see, it still is a fairly quick process to add these. So please don't forget to ask any questions. I'm here to give you a hand. Also, while I'm doing this, let you know I do have a Canva masterclass coming up on the 21st of February. Judy's going to pin that link for you. not GB. Sorry, GB. Rick is going to pin that link for me at the top of the comments so that you can register for my Canva masterclass. And we're going to take you through creating social media templates and how to add them to your brand kit, all of that sort of stuff. Because having your brand kit set up when you're creating social media stuff will actually save you loads and loads of time, as I'm going to show you with the second version of doing all of this. It's really quick and simple. You just pick photos. And this is actually really cool if you want to do things like stuff like business cards for different staff or profiles on different staff members for different things. You can set up a whole page. There are so many different ways to use this. It's really limited by your imagination. So while I've just got a couple more left to go, thank you, Rika. Can you guys who are watching live think of and pop in the comments some ideas that you have for maybe using this sort of thing in what you do? I mean, one of the suggestions I've got is, do quotes, do this tips, all that sort of thing. So there's so many different things you can actually do with this. Sorry, I'm just getting notifications open. I am probably going a bit slow because I want it to be clear what we're doing. So only 10 to go. I did this earlier as a practice run. I had 100 photos. Don't recommend doing 100 at once if you've got to annually add them. But 50 is not too bad, as you can see. We're nearly there. This is the slow part of it, but I am doing this live, so you can actually see how quick it does take. The longest part of this process literally is the setup. Okay, so we've done that. We've got all the photos in. We're going to click done. So the next step is to come over here. You'll see over here, it's got two columns, two headers, tips and image. So what it needs you to do now is to come over to your image over here and tell it where to put this information. So we want the tips to go in here. So what we do is we go connect data. It brings up your options and we're going to choose tips. So it's going to add tips there. Then the next thing it's going to do we want is out for the photos. So we come in here, right click on the photo, connect data, and we want to put the image in. Now, this is the bit that blew my mind. Watch this. You click continue. You apply all data, generate 50 designs, and watch this line across the bottom. This is the bit that blew my mind. There you go, 50 designs done. It's like that. That is just, yeah, amazingly quick. Yeah, you might have to come in and alter the sizing and check them all, especially if you're doing something like this, but the hard work's done. You've got so many of them to look at. And you can see it's put different photos in the frame each time. So it really is a fast way to create bulk posts and whatnot. So it's really quick and simple. It's super fun. Now, the other thing you can do, I'm going to leave that one there for the moment. And it's kept the template there so you can come back and change the data again. But what we're going to do now is we're going to show you this. So I've only got 10 minutes left. Wow, that time goes when you're having fun. Yeah, it is amazing, isn't it, Reg and Rika? It's so quick. It's just literally like that. The longest part is setting up setting it all up. So I'm just going to come back into Canva and I'm going to show you the other version where you've got a brand template set up. It's just as quick. So let's do another Instagram square. Because I like Instagram squares because they fit both Facebook and Instagram. So we're going to come in here, create new. So this time we're going to, when it finishes loading, we're going to go into my brand kit, which you can get over here where it says brand. And because I've already created some templates up here, so we've got our brand templates, which is part of what we're going to talk about in the masterclass. I've got my brand templates here. So I just got to change it up a little bit. Tip of the day. Take that out. So for this purpose, I don't want that. And then I'll go down to the photos again. I've got my photos loaded into my brand. And we'll pick, let's see, let's pick one. Let's pick that one. That's a nice one. So we'll put that one in there. And I like mine to have my photos to not have the background. So I just edit the photo and I go background remover. Takes the background out, nice and simple. And that's a template we're going to use for this one. So it's the same, it's almost the same process. So we come down the side, go to apps, bulk create. But this time, where instead of enter data manually, we're going to upload a CSV. So we're going to click on that. Then we've got to go to, I've got to navigate back to where I had it saved. Sorry, I thought I'd already done that part, make it a bit quicker for us. So this is the marketing, that's wrong one. Marketing tips CSV. Now we click open. So once again, you've got the data there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to this one here, right click, we're going to connect our data. I'm going to choose that. Then we're going to click continue over here, then generate, and same thing. Give it a moment. It definitely is a fantastic tool when you've got a lot to create, Lucia. It just makes it so simple. And this is really the value also of having your brand templates already set up, ready to go. And if you're doing things that are involved, like quotes, affirmations, all of that stuff, this is a fantastic tool for generating the actual visual. And as you can see, that's another 50, the same 50 quotes, but done on the brand template the same. So very quick, very simple. One of my favorite tools I have discovered in Canva. To definitely make sure you come and check out my Canva Masterclass on the 21st of February. I would love to show you some more. It'll be an interactive session, so you'll be able to help out and ask a few more questions. If you do have any more questions, though, from watching this, please do pop them in the comments and I'll come back later and put the comments, answer the comments as best I can. Just put in hashtag replay as well, so I know you're watching the replay. But yeah, have fun with it, guys. Have fun. That's it. Canva is a great tool. It allows you to be as creative as you need to be. And anybody who knows me knows I am a creative soul. And I will encourage you to be creative. But yeah, just play with it. Have fun. The video will be here in the group if you want to watch the step-by-step again. But yeah, have fun with it. And I would love to see what you guys come up with. So please feel free to tag me in anything you create. Anyway, it's probably, thank you, Rika. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who's watched live, and to anyone who's watching on the replay, thank you for taking the time. I will